Hi, welcome to the Vaguely Anime Podcast. I'm with this afternoon, Michael, followed by other host, Sage.
Hi.
My clap sucked.
It's okay.
It's terrible.
Can't all be excellent clappers.
Well, yeah. We should have said, hey, what do you want to talk about for this one before we started? Because my topic was going to be what I had ended the one with last time.
Oh, should we cut for a second?
No, I finished all the James Bond movies.
Oh.
I know you haven't watched
Any of them?
But I finished all of them. 27 movies.
That's crazy.
Twas a journey.
Remind me, you're watching them from like release?
It was release order.
Gotcha.
Including the two that were not made by Eon Productions.
Is that why sometimes it's like 25 or 27?
Yeah. So there's 25 official movies.
Oh.
27 non-official.
So what makes the other two non-official? Because it
They're
wasn't
just not
from the
made
same
by
studio?
They're just not made by the studio.
But they still have the James Bond name?
Yeah. Like, Casino Royale, before the one that was made with Daniel Craig, was like a parody movie. But it was a James Bond movie, but like a parody.
Okay.
Like the main character is James Bond. Their characters share all names. It's just a parody movie.
Okay.
And then Never Say Never Again is the co-writer of the movie Thunderball sued the Fleming estate for rights to that. And he won, but the stipulation was basically he could only make Thunderball again. Okay. So Never Say Never is just Thunderball again.
Gotcha.
And he also, the reason why Spectre stopped showing up in all the movies is because part of him winning was that he got the rights to Spectre, which is why Spectre doesn't show up again until the 2015 movie.
I assume Spectre's a person?
It's a evil organization.
Oh, okay.
It's like Hydra.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he didn't show up till 2015 because then he died. And they were like,
hell yeah, we got it
back. We can do whatever we want again.
LOL.
So, yeah, those two movies are not made by Eon. So they're non-canon. However much canon you want to put in the James Bond
I was going to say, is there really like a canon to James Bond? Because
before Craig, it's kind of like they could all be the same guy. Like, it's never said one way or the other.
Right.
So it's like left purposely vague to be like, yeah, it could just be all the same dude. Just different times and missions and stuff.
Right.
But Craig is kind of pretty much just his own version
of the character.
Yeah, because you could argue maybe that like in between movies, except for in between Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, because Quantum of Solace basically takes place right after Casino Royale. You could maybe argue that like all the other movies are just missions that happen between the Craig movie moments.
Right.
But for the most part, it's kind of like Craig's was like, no, we're definitively making it one dude. And then his movies end, and now it's probably going to be like another dude. Who knows? I mean, we'll find out how they're going to run it once the new guy shows up.
And I feel like that's been like a long, ongoing discussion.
It has been 3 years.
Really? Why does
No
it
Time
feel
to
like
Die came out in 21.
Why? Even before No Time to Die, weren't they talking about like who's going to be?
Well, he thought he wasn't going to make any more after Skyfall.
Right.
In 2012.
Right. I remember that at least like 2019, 2018, there was a lot of conversation about like, oh, these people will potentially be the new James Bond.
Yeah.
And there was like supposedly a lot of like talks about it.
Yeah, because like definitively, like Daniel Craig's Bond got a very definitive end.
Right. Does he die?
Are you ever going to watch them?
Eventually.
I'm not going to tell you then.
Okay.
Because if you just watch his, which watching his back-to-back was like a fantastic experience. Quantum of Solace is not a very good movie, but like every other movie is very good. And watching them all, just like watching his journey from Casino Royale to No Time to Die is like a fantastic watch. So if you don't know, I'm not gonna answer.
Gotcha.
Because it is just like, either way, it's a very definitive ending. So it's like, it clearly probably wouldn't be like the same person. So it's kind of gonna answer one way or the other, like how they're gonna go about it if it's like reboot every time.
Gotcha.
Some people always argue that it's like, oh, James Bond actually is like the name that you get when you become a 007, but that's not really true. It's disproven in the movie, in Craig's movie, multiple times, because like you find out about like his family before he became an agent at one point, find out in loose terms, and like other agents pop up, and it's like very clearly not.
I thought 007 was like only for James Bond.
So 007 is a designation.
Oh.
Like, because he's an MI6 agent. There are the 00 agents.
Gotcha.
He's just one of them, which happens to be 007.
Right. I understand that there's other 00 agents.
Yeah.
But I just always thought like 007 was James Bond.
Technically,
Does that make
somebody else.
sense?
Yeah, but technically somebody else can be 007.
Like
if he retired,
somebody
somebody would take over 007.
Gotcha. So like Jim could be 007.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which is funny that you say that because James is usually short to Jim.
I realized that once I said Jim, but then I was like, I've already said Jim, so we'll just commit. Richard could be 007.
Who are you? I'm Jim Bond. Jimmy Bond, if you will.
Jimmy Bond.
It didn't
Bond. Jim Bond.
But yeah. Anyway, so all 27. Interesting time watching all of those, because you go from, "Hoo boy, this did not age well at all."
Right, because it started in what, like the late 60s?
Yeah. And you're just like, ooh, hoo boy. 1962 was the first.
Wow. So early 60s.
Early 60s. And you watch it and you're like, ooh, they are very sexist and very racist.
Yeah, sounds about right.
But like also they're pretty fun. So it's like a weird thing where you're like, you take it for the times.
Of course.
It's the same thing with like, Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh boy, but also fuck, this is a beautiful movie.
Yeah, it's that whole thing I was saying the other day about just because a movie was made in a time period where we were a little less sensitive does not invalidate what that movie does.
Yeah.
Or like the cultural significance of a movie, you know? Like we can't just pretend that didn't happen because that's insincere.
Yeah, no, like they are still fairly fun.
Like I'm watching all of SVU right now, and it's actually so interesting watching the progression of SVU because it started in the 90s when even in the 90s it wasn't like a lot of things weren't as PC as they are now.
Right.
And just watching the progression of like conversations for like different cases and victims that they will have throughout the show is actually fascinating. It's like a time capsule.
Honestly, that was part of the some of the most fun part about doing this watch through is like how it
That's why I was going to ask you, because it for one franchise, if you want to call it that like seeing it move through time, even though it's like one guy, right? But seeing it move through time, not only in terms of like how different the most recent movie is versus like the original in terms of just filmmaking.
Yeah.
But like how they're choosing to write scenes and like the dialogue and like characterization,
Yeah.
is all like things that I feel like a lot of times like people won't even think about.
Well, it's funny because like it's also especially when different Bonds come in, different directors decide like, now that it's a new guy, I want to take this in a different direction. So it's like Connery is all like smooth and suave and like
right.
Everything's fine. He's just chill and he's
supposed to be like cold as ice.
He's
like
the cool Bond.
Yeah.
And then Roger Moore comes in and they're like, we want to make this more like the books Bond, where he's like kind of an asshole and really things are dark and serious and whatever. And then you like, and then you have like George Lazenby, who's just like also kind of chill, happy, fun. And then you go to what's his name? Timothy Dalton, who like so Moore starts darker gets happier, kind of goes darker again, back to happy. Then Timothy Dalton picks up, and it's dark again. And then the next one happens, and you're like, oh, this is not that great. And because it's like a weird trying to do both, be happy and dark. And then Brosnan hits, and it's just like, it's like kind of a more accurate book Bond, but like in a campier 90s way.
I was gonna say, do you feel like you can tell when it's like certain time periods of in terms of like what's popular, like that level of like hamminess?
The best part about going from Timothy Dalton to Brosnan in one movie is the movie starts and you're like, there's the CGI era.
Oh no!
You're like, that's when they could start doing things without doing it.
Well, that's when they were like, ooh, beep boop bop, computer.
And you're like, oh no, because at least in all the movies prior, they're doing the thing.
Right.
And if they're not, I mean, like at least it's like the charming,
close enough,
like it's
of course.
the charming look of
course,
of oldness, and it goes from charming bad effect to just bad effect.
Just dated. Yeah.
It's like you lose the charming of it because you know somebody didn't have to like cut out the shape of this thing and then match it to all the stuff and make it like work. Where this one, it's just somebody went.
Yeah. Before they really were like understanding how that works and had the technology to even do it.
Like the first stunt ever done with the help of a computer, and by that I mean that a computer was there to help do the mathematics of the idea and to help them be like, yeah, that could work. The first ever computer assisted stunt was in James Bond.
I think I remember you telling me that.
Maybe I mentioned it because I was like, they ruin it by adding a fucking slide whistle.
Yes, you did tell me that.
Okay, yeah. That they do a barrel roll with their car and they ruin it with a slide whistle.
Which is actually the funniest thing in the world. Like, it just seems so goofy.
It is. Like, it's like a genuinely
I haven't
really
even seen
impressive
it,
stunt.
But picturing in my brain, the delivery just seems goofy.
It is. It undercuts the stunt.
I believe you.
It wholeheartedly.
It would be like watching Tom Cruise like jump off the mountain in Dead Reckoning Part 1, and then like as he's flying in the air, they make like some like comical like
slide
sound
whistle
effect.
hits.
Yeah.
Just a slide whistle hits, and you're like, this is no longer cool.
Yeah. You'd
Which
be like,
is-
why did you do this?
Yeah, it's just wild. I don't get it. But like the Brosnan Bonds are really the first one's the most fun. Each after that, it like kind of gets like less fun. But he is the best part. Like he is so unbelievably charming. Like he carries those movies because you just love how charming he is as Bond. The only one that doesn't pull that off is Die Another Day, which is the one with Halle Berry in it. That movie is just terrible.
Oh, I didn't know she was in that movie.
It's just
in a
bad.
James Bond movie.
I also think I think I've discovered I just don't I actually don't like Halle Berry.
Really?
I think
Did you not like her in John Wick?
John Wick, she's good.
I think so.
The X-Men movies with her as Storm,
I know she's goofy, but I love her. Come on.
those are fine. But like those are the only movies I could think of that I've seen her in that I'm like good. But maybe I'm forgetting.
I guess that's fair.
But like I feel like a lot of times when I see her in most movies, I'm like, I don't.
You're
Why
like,
are you
yeah,
here?
whatever.
Yeah.
That's valid. You're allowed to not like her.
But so the three lowest rated of 27 movies, only 3 are under a 3-star to me.
Okay,
Out of
pretty
like
good.
3 out of 5. It's Casino Royale, the remake. I mean, not the remake. The spoof one
Right.
is a 1.5. Movie was not good.
Not even as a spoof.
No, just kind of all over the place and boring. Just kind of uninteresting.
You hate to see it.
I think it might just be that the humor no longer correlates to me.
What was this movie made in a time where like spoof movies were really popular?
Made in 1967.
Okay, never mind. I'm picturing like like the 90s, early 2000s
no.
spoof movies.
This 1967.
Okay, never mind.
It's just nah.
Yeah.
Then Die Another Day, which is a 2-star, and then Diamonds Are Forever, which is a 2.5, And then after that, it's 3 and up. There are a lot of 3s.
So the other day, actually, I was looking up the James Bond movies because I was like, I finished Mission Impossible, so I'll move on to James Bond now.
I have the collection. You can borrow it.
I was reading some of these movie titles, and I was like,
oh, yeah.
Are these actually the titles?
Dude, the women names are glorious.
Oh?
Oh, you haven't... have you seen the Austin Powers movies?
Yeah.
Like, the character, Alata Vagina?
Uh-huh.
Like, that's not, like, a joke. That's how, like, the women are named in the early Bond movies. There's Dr. Goodnight.
Because I know Austin Powers is supposed to be, like, a spoof of James Bond in some way. So, like, I just always assumed it was, taking it to the extreme in the way a spoof would, if that makes sense.
Pussy Galore.
Stop it.
Fiona Volpe, which is like play on words for Italian, basically.
Okay.
Then there's Honey Rider.
Are they so for real? Are these like villains?
Kissy Suzuki. No, these are the Bond girls. Mary Goodnight. Let's see what else we got. There's Strawberry Fields, Christmas Jones.
Are the Bond movies supposed to be serious?
Fatima Bush, which is supposed to be like Fat Bush. Plenty O'Toole.
Okay, like are the Bond okay in my brain?
Chew Me.
In my brain, I've always thought of the Bond movies as like spy, espionage, cool.
Yeah, they are.
Serious tone.
No, not at all.
So they're not serious.
Not really.
Oh.
Not until you get to Craig.
Oh.
Like, they are, like, they're all world-ending events.
But, like, goofy.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh.
Holly Goodhead.
Of course.
What is it? Xena on Top.
Xena on top.
These names are priceless.
Oh my.
Mostly Pussy Galore, though.
Yes, Pussy Galore.
And it's just like...
How have I not seen a drag queen named Pussy Galore yet?
It's
like,
gotta be
come
somewhere.
on, it's right there.
It's gotta be somewhere. Miss Goodnight, fucking Miss Good, or Dr. Goodnight and Miss Goodhead.
Yeah,
like
that's crazy.
They're impeccable. Honestly, though, if you want to borrow them, go for it. Because it's all of them minus No Time to Die and the non-Eon production ones.
Okay.
So if you want to watch those, you'd have to rent
DVD?
those. Yeah, it's Blu-ray.
That goes in a PlayStation 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want them?
Sure.
Okay. Just remind me before you leave. Which would be great because you never watching any of them. That would be a fun conversation when you watch them and we could talk about it. Because yeah, it's just a trip. It goes from like hardcore sexism and racism stuff, and then to like light core sexism and stereotyping.
Light core.
To like, this is still pretty hard, not all great. To like, all right, it's getting more okay. To all right, now it's more just like fine.
Right, modern day sensibilities.
Yeah, kinda. But like, for like the first 15 movies, really, it's just Bond walks up to a woman and he's like, "Shut up," kisses them, and they're like, "Bond."
Oh my god.
And you're like, okay.
Okay.
The first movie to have a Bond girl that Bond does not sleep with isn't till like the third Brosnan movie. Second or third, I actually don't remember.
That's so funny.
Like, he sleeps with just everybody.
He attracts the women. He's a magnet.
Oh yeah. Literally, I think I brought this up to you too, where I was like, international spy, he's banged everybody. Wouldn't you too want to bang him? He's got to be good in bed. Like, I'd probably do it.
I guess.
Like, if he's able to just fucking bang that many women at all times and known for like doing it, he's got to be good.
But like, wouldn't he have like a bunch of STDs?
I don't think about that part.
I'm just saying.
Just don't think about
like,
that
does
part.
this man seem like he's responsible enough?
I mean, I don't think he wants kids.
I guess, but like, pulling out isn't that hard.
That doesn't work.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Don't put that
And then
out
again,
there.
like I'm saying, like the man, if he's sleeping with that many women, is he that responsible every single time?
He's got condoms on him at all times. Because he doesn't want the diseases.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's valid.
Yeah, you know?
Even though condoms don't always help with every disease, but fair.
Oh, look, there's only so much you can do.
There's only so much you can only be so prepared, okay?
yeah. But yeah, so
you're
like,
telling me he's not having an in-depth conversation with each woman, being like, so this is my likes and this is my dislikes.
no. He goes in there and he's like,
Hey, lady.
I was about to make a joke, but it's pretty not okay, and also because it's from an old video on YouTube,
I see.
and you would not get it either, so
Okay.
it's fine. But yeah. So anyway, 27 movies, all generally pretty fun. Like even if they're like kind of bad, they're like campy enough to be enjoyable.
Right.
All the Bonds are pretty solid. George Lazenby only gets one movie, but he's like fantastic. His movie before the Craig movies, he was number one the entire time. Well, his one movie was like the top movie in my ranking.
Really?
Yeah. It's Christopher Nolan's favorite Bond movie, which is funny because if you watch it, you actually could totally see how it influenced.
Christopher Nolan?
I was gonna say Inception specifically.
Oh.
Like, there's an entire part about that movie where, like, this is all he went. I'm making this into a movie someday. And
Oh,
it's just
LOL.
Like, it's just like, yeah, that's Inception. But yeah, my top 5 in order are No Time to Die, Skyfall, Casino Royale, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and then Goldfinger. Which is Craig, Lazenby, Connery. I think every Bond has at least one movie in my top 10. So there's that. At least every Bond has at least one solid movie.
Are they? Would you call them action movies?
Yeah.
Like in my brain, like the Craig ones are action movies.
Yeah, no, they're action movies. They're all like, I mean, obviously different sensibility of action movies.
Right. Of course.
But yeah, no, they're all. I would all say that they're all action movies, definitely.
Okay.
They're just like, especially early on, they're just such camp. But like, not like they were doing that on purpose. It just has become camp to today.
Right.
You know. They're all generally like solid though. So yeah, I'm definitely interested to see like you watch these movies and be like and see what your opinions are. It's, I assume, gonna take you forever
Yes, it will.
because you're you.
But no, I will watch eventually all of them.
Eventually, even if you only watched one a day, that's still 25 days. Still almost a month.
Michael, the fact that you think I'm gonna
No,
watch
I'm not.
one a day.
You're not, but I'm just saying, like, even if you were watching one a day, it's still almost a month.
Yeah.
I assume it's gonna be like one a month.
Maybe one a week if we're lucky. If I'm like really disciplined.
It's half a year.
6 months to watch 25 movies.
Which,
It's not bad.
it's not bad.
It's not bad in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's like, imagine going to the movie theater 25 times in 6 months. Okay, I know you go to the movie theater a lot. Okay? But the normal average person, I don't think goes that often.
A-list helps.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I only go to the movie theater like maybe 5 times
Well,
through
you don't
the year.
like the theater,
I don't like the theater.
which is a wrong opinion.
No, I don't like I like the theater. I like the theater experience with like the big screen. Sometimes it's a little too loud, but I can get over that. You know, you're good to go. I don't like people at the theater.
This is why we need more. We need two things. Either A-list needs to put, or AMC needs to put a thing in their app where you could like, you could select the theater you're in, and then just like write a message real quick, being like, "This person's annoying," so you don't have to get up and
That would be
leave.
so great.
Or
They should make option like, do you want it to be rowdy or do you want to be in complete silence?
I feel like
and
that's less likely than just being able to hit a complaint thing
but
on
you
your
know
phone.
what I mean? Like if you have a separate theater where it's like this is a cardinal rule, you better be quiet the entire time.
Well, that's what I was,
or else.
Because what I was gonna say is or we need more Alamo draft houses. A, because Alamo draft houses are incredible. B, because they do not put up with people's shit.
I think I asked you this before, but do they have one here? No, right?
In Yonkers.
Oh, okay.
That's the closest one. And I keep meaning to go because I'm curious if it's actually any good. Because, sometimes when you franchise.
Right. It doesn't hold up. If you do go, let me know. I might come with you.
I've been
if that's
meaning
okay.
to do it for literal, years. I just need to, pick some movie and dedicate.
When Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out?
In 4 years?
In 4 years?
20 years?
That's when we should go. That would be great. Actually, no, I can't. Sorry, I have to see that with Mark.
He could come.
I guess that's fair. And I have to watch it when it opens because I refuse to be spoiled.
Well, yeah. What you against the throuple date?
No. I just
I haven't
didn't
seen
know
my
if you
boyfriend in so long.
I just didn't know if you would want him to come.
I haven't seen him in so long.
I know, it's been a long time.
You've been keeping him.
I know.
It's not a very fair relationship. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I don't think that's my responsibility if you're the side piece. I'm just saying.
But you're putting out too much. He just has no reason to go to me.
Well, that's not my fault. Now is it?
Be more stingy.
Be more stingy.
I have needs too, Sage. Just because you can satisfy him doesn't mean I'm getting satisfied by it. God, you're so insensitive.
I know. How can I? Just the worst.
Terrible. But yeah, so but it's interesting because back to the Bond movies of I was having this whole interesting because I hadn't watched basically any of the Craig movies since they came out, and I had only seen 3 of them. So I was interested to see how my opinions would hold up because I knew I liked Skyfall the most in my head, but I also loved No Time to Die, and both of them were rated the same. So when I was rewatching through these, I literally was doing one a day. I did Casino Royale the next day. I did Quantum of Solace, et cetera. Skyfall is still, bar none, it's the prettiest Bond movie. Easy.
Also, Skyfall by Adele, which was the song that went
the best Bond song.
Oh my god, I am literally obsessed with that song. It's so good.
I will say most of the Bond songs are pretty good. I also think it's kind of funny because the Bond intros are all generally pretty solid. They all kind of start becoming a little bit samey. But it's just naked women everywhere, so that's pretty all right.
Okay.
Obviously it's silhouette.
Yeah. I'm picking up.
But
what
you
could
could totally tell those women are not wearing anything.
Right.
Then you get to the Brosnan ones, and it's all CG stuff, and you're like, these aren't interesting anymore. But the going through that, I was like, all right. So I rewatched Skyfall, and I was like, all right, never mind. This is a 5. This is incredible. I think it's my favorite. Watched Spectre for the first time, and I was like, this movie's solid. And I was curious to see because I remembered loving No Time to Die. So I was curious to see what would happen. And so No Time to Die was the only movie I didn't watch the next day. I would watch it the same day as I watched Spectre. And that movie is so incredible. And I think it's just because I watched them all each day after another. So I watched his entire arc happen.
Right.
In such close proximity that it made No Time to Die feel even better of a movie.
Was it almost like you were watching like a TV show?
Kind of, yeah. That it was just because I could just watch it all. I just watched the character grow, change, and get to where he is. And get to his ending.
Right.
Where I think it just elevated it to another level that it just yeah, I think it's my favorite Bond movie. And I was talking to Anthony about it because he's I don't think that's true at all. He's it's Skyfall, and I don't. He's I don't think it's
right.
best. And I was I don't know. I didn't think it was
different
either.
stroke for different folks.
Well, yeah, no, but I didn't think it was either originally.
Right.
But I think it's just because I watched them all back to back that it made me
in
feel
that
way.
viewing experience that made it more like
Yeah.
a punch.
Because like there are like many faults with it. Like I listed them out when I was reviewing it. I was like, there's this, and this. Like this is contrived. This villain's boring. Like whatever. But the emotion behind everything, like the main push in that movie, is a virus that can like kill specific people, without going into super specifics. The person that helps like create that in the 3 movies previous. So established that would never be anything this character would do. It's like so against his like that the character's entire personality. They're like they would never help create this thing.
Right.
And so you're like, okay, that's unbelievable, but sure. But like again, terrible excuse for the thing to exist, but the thing existing causes such immense emotional payoff and weight to the movie that you're like, you should have come up with a better way, but I'm willing to excuse it because of how good it is. If that makes sense.
I'm picking up what
like,
you're putting down.
In the same vein with the villain, where the villain is also kind of boring and uninteresting, but facilitates such incredible moments from everyone else that you're kind of, at least for me, willing to accept that shortcoming for the good that it did provide.
Right.
And that movie has a lot of that, where it's like there's X shortcoming and X shortcoming, but those shortcomings lead to so much better things that like it kind of balances it out, or like outweighs it even, which is usually never the case for me. Usually I'm like, that's contrived as shit, that's stupid, or like this villain's bad, and that's a handicap against it. But like, this is one of the only movies I can think of where it has those problems, and yet I'm still like, they don't really matter because it pays off so immensely well.
No, I know what you mean.
And it's one of the only movies I think I can actually. It's the only movie at the moment that I can think of that I.
It's like how
think
I
that
feel
way.
about Code Geass. Even though they do stupid shit along the way,
Right.
I'm like, it doesn't matter. The payoff is just so worth it.
Right. Which God, watch the fucking sequel thing so we can talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
There's so much shit to talk about with that. And I can explain why at one point in that watching that show I fucking spit my water out. Like took a sip and something came up on screen. I was like, excuse me?
Spit take.
Yeah, I was like, excuse me? Almost fucking choked to death.
Oh my God.
Great moment. It's also such a stupid moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna mention it when you get there, and you're gonna be like, really? But yeah, I don't know. It's fucking No Time to Die is incredible.
I was gonna ask you a question about the movies, and now I don't remember what it is. Damn.
Yes, all the Bond girls are usually very hot.
Yeah, I know that's like a thing.
Yeah, because you got Vesper played by Eva Green, notorious hot lady.
I would agree.
You have I always forget Madeline played by Leah Sedux. It's this lady. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really bad with names, so I'm better with.
You know that face?
I think I do know that face, but I don't know where I know her from. But that face is familiar.
You ever seen? Well, I mean, all the movies were listed here, but you ever seen Blue is the Warmest Color? She's in that movie.
No.
Okay. You ever seen French Dispatch, Inglourious Bastards?
No.
Oh, well, she's in a lot of movies. I'm gonna be honest here. Either way, notorious hot lady.
Okay, I'll buy
it. She shows up in Spectre, and like that movie is like, oh, fine. The movie's pretty solid. But there's a scene in that movie where I was like, because a lot of that movie's like not fantastic, but I'm gonna be so honest. It was carried by how hot Daniel Craig and Louis Strix are in that movie. She walks in on a scene in like this like form-fitting silk dress kind of vibe, and you immediately like, oh my God, and you're like, it is unfair to be that attractive. Nobody's allowed to be that hot and that talented.
Right.
It's unfair to the world.
Right.
Screw you. And then she's just in that dress, and you're like,
The fuck is going on
So
here?
mad about it because God, this is the greatest thing I've ever watched in my fucking stupid little life.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, her and him are so hot in that movie that it brings that movie from like a 3.5 to like a 4.5 because they are just so hot, and you're just like, God damn it, this could be like a better movie, but it's being carried by how hot these people are.
Do you ever get like so like taken aback by visuals that you're like, I just have to pause and take a second to like really think about what I'm looking at right now, because it's just like,
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure I had like legit like Looney Tunes hard eyes pop out, and I needed to like pause and sit about it.
me when I watch K-pop music videos, I'm like, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah, it's like just the like fucking steam coming out of the ears, the like
Yeah.
foghorn.
Your tongue rolls out like a carpet.
Oh boy, yeah, no, she walks into that frame and you're just like,
What the fuck?
it's just like, again, you're just like, this is unfair. No human.
So you're saying
should
I
be
have
this
to
hot.
wait 20 movies to get to that?
You have to wait 24 movies to get to that.
Damn. Well, she better be hot because that's a lot of buildup.
Well, I mean, you got Eva Green, who
True.
that's only 21 movies. 21 might be 20.
So in like 5 months from now.
But I mean, the movie's full. The movies are full of a lot of hot women.
Yeah, I believe you. For sure.
Like that's their whole deal. Like being a Bond girl is that you are hot.
Yeah.
So, like,
I do know that reputation.
yeah, if you're a Bond girl,
Bond
you
girl
are
equals hot.
Yeah, it's just kind of how it be.
Yeah.
So, and also like, basically any woman in the movies are hot. Let's be honest here.
Right.
Um,
I feel like if you're in Hollywood and you're on screen, like you're probably attractive.
it's not necessarily true. There are quite a lot of actresses and actors that I do not think are attractive.
Really? I feel like I've seen very few actors or actresses in my life where I'm like, I don't see the appeal.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's difference of preference.
Well, yes, of course. But I mean, like, in terms of, like, just general, like, I don't think every actor is a 10 out of 10. But, like, there's been very few where I'm like, I don't see what makes this person attractive. You know what I mean? Even her.
I don't know, like her and like the other three that are usually grouped around with her in the same kind of set role.
I think that's valid for sure, but I by no means think that they're unattractive. You know what I mean?
They're not attractive to me.
Right, which is fair.
But Ana de Armas is in one of them.
Oh.
She's in No Time to Die. She's also fantastic in that movie.
Okay.
And, so hot.
Sorry, I know we're talking about James Bond, but I need to just sidetrack for 2 seconds because you brought up Ana de Armas, and it made me think of her face and how she has really big, beautiful doe eyes, right? Okay, so to take it back to Uglies for like 2 seconds, I know that was in the previous episode, but this is really bothering me because this was bothering me the whole movie.
Is it about how Joe King has also massive eyes?
Okay, so you understand that she has very big, bright, beautiful eyes.
Yeah, I mean, everyone pales in comparison to oh fuck, I'm spacing on her name. Furiosa.
Oh, Anya Taylor-Joy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But anyway, so Joey King, though, is known for having really big doe eyes. In Uglies, Tally, the main character, her nickname is supposed to be Squint because she has teeny tiny eyes.
That seems racist.
It's not. She just has small eyes and she squints a lot because she can't see that well.
Feels racially
Okay?
charged.
It's not. It's not supposed to be.
Right.
But I'm like, why would you cast Joey King, who has the biggest fucking eyes in the world, to play a character who's supposed to be squinty?
Second biggest eyes in the world.
Like,
I mean, yeah.
You don't even
That does seem odd.
edit it as like after
Did I
effect.
call her that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then I got nothing. But like, did you also see that apparently Ana de Armas and Sydney Sweeney are going to be in a movie where they're just having a threesome? With
Sign me up.
everybody's been like, sold. I'm there.
Sign me up.
I'm in.
Can I also be part of it?
Dude, I remember when the like on Instagram,
Where they
like,
kill me while we're having the threesome.
like on Instagram, like a month ago, 2 months ago, when like Sydney Sweeney apparently posted some pictures of like her on a boat, and she posted an ass picture, and people were like, "This is unfair. You can't have giant titties and an ass. That you're supposed to be one or the other."
Sydney Sweeney's like, just be better.
She's so hot.
Yeah.
I I love when anyone's like, so like, do you feel like weird about the new? She's like, fuck no, I'm gonna keep doing them. I don't give a fuck. She's like, I'm hot now, and I'm like, great attitude. Honestly, same though. Like,
Right.
I would like. I mean, I say that I'm not a woman and I'm also not famous, but like, I feel like the justification feels like
there
where you're like, yeah, when you're hot now, why not be like,
you might as well immortalize it, right?
yeah, right? Where you like when you're fucking 97 and nothing's where it should be.
Yeah.
You're just like, you can go back and be like, God damn, I was hot.
Those were the days.
Yeah, you know?
No, I fully believe in that. Like any like actor or actress or any person in entertainment, when they're like, nah, fuck it, let's just do it. Like I didn't like Katy Perry's Woman World because it was just a terrible song, or whatever the song was called. Yeah, Woman's
Did
World.
she go nude in that movie? That show?
She didn't go nude, but like
No.
she is very scantily clad, and to be honest, good for her. Like she looks incredible. Like she looks very fit, like super toned. She looks great, and I'm like, you know what? And more power to you, Katie. The song is terrible, but you look great.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, like if you got it and you're comfortable, fuck it.
Do it. Like the lady had a baby, and she looks incredible. You know, so
Katy Perry?
yeah,
No.
a while ago actually.
I mean, I believe that. She's kind of old now, isn't she?
I mean, not really.
How old is she?
She's like maybe 35.
She's got to be older than that. I feel like she was like upper.
Katy Perry?
Wasn't she like upper 20s when we were in like our like teenagers?
I don't think so.
I always thought she was like kind of old.
No, I don't think she's that old.
Kind of old in terms of like when we were young. I
No,
thought
no,
she was
no.
much
I
older.
know what you mean, but like, no, I don't think she's that old. I think she's like maybe 35, 36,
39.
39.
She's almost 40.
Okay.
So I feel like my thought process was
even
not
better.
totally wrong.
For almost 40, she looks incredible.
I feel like my thought process wasn't totally wrong though.
No, I guess not. If you're saying when we were teenagers, she was in her late 20s, that does add up.
Yeah, I, as a teenager, I felt like I remembered her being like, because as a teenager, anyone that's fucking all like, you know, near 30 or like, that's an old person.
Right.
I always
No.
thought she was like old.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Anyone who's not also a teenager, old.
Yeah. Exactly. Except for you. You were always old.
I was always old? I guess that's fair. I was
I was
always
like,
old.
don't you deny it.
Yeah.
Literally, the whole bit is that you've been sundowning since you were born.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
But yeah, I'll watch like almost anything with Ana de Armas in it, and I think I'm hitting that point also with Sydney Sweeney.
Did you watch Anyone But You?
I did not.
Me neither.
Is that the one with her and Glenn Powell?
Yeah.
Did people like that one or hate that one? I remember there was like another movie that came out around the same time. It was like also like a romance thing, and it was like people fucking hated it. I couldn't remember if it's that one or a different one.
I don't know if people hated it, but I didn't hear like a bunch of. Oh, are you talking about It Ends With Us?
Yes.
Okay, so.
So I remember those two like coming out around the same time. People fucking hated one.
No.
All right.
Okay. Anyone But You was last year in the summer.
Okay.
Rom-com. And everyone was like, oh my God, rom-coms are coming back, right? It Ends With Us just came out recently, actually right after Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
And the reason why people were hating it is because Blake Lively, who was playing the main character, was promoting this movie like it was a cutesy little rom-com. And she was trying to have like her own Barbie moment, right? And then she was also using the press tour to promote like her new hair care brand and her like drinks line. And she kept talking about her husband, which is fine, whatever, who cares. But then the movie is actually about like a woman escaping a domestic violence situation. And everyone was like, that's weird. Why are you promoting this movie like it's a rom-com when the main core theme is about domestic violence?
Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
It was weird.
Was it like a good movie?
I didn't see it.
I was like, I feel like I only heard bad things. But maybe it was just because people were like expecting one thing and got the other.
I guess because the movie was heavily, and like in interviews, like Blake Lively, like people kept asking about it, and she kept giving like non-responses, and it was weird. And then the guy, like the male lead in the movie, whose name I don't remember, was also the director of the movie. And he was talking a lot about how the movie is about domestic violence. What?
Ugliest isn't popular for this week on Letterboxd. And I was like, fuck it, I'll click on it.
What does it say?
It's got a 1.5.
I believe it. I believe it wholeheartly.
13,000 votes for a 1.
Yeah. Can you vote a 0?
I mean, technically, you could just not put a ranking.
But that doesn't count.
The lowest is a half, which has 10.6 thousand.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was really bad. Watch it. It's on Netflix.
Mick G. Why do I know that actor?
But yeah, so yeah.
He's done so much dog shit. No wonder it's terrible.
But yeah, it ends with Us. I think the whole reason why people weren't liking it is primarily because they were like, Blake Lively, girl, what are you doing? You know? Like,
yeah.
I heard the movie itself is not terrible, but people were really unhappy with the way Blake Lively was promoting this movie, especially because she's like the main character of the movie.
Right.
And then she was trying to make allegations against the director that he was like making her uncomfortable and making her feel like she's overweight because he asked how much she weighed when he needed to do a scene like lifting her. And she felt uncomfortable with him asking her that. And then she was trying to say that like he lingered too long after a kiss scene, and she felt uncomfortable with that. But like, nobody really knows what happened, you know?
Like that came out all after the fact?
Yeah.
Okay.
After she started getting backlash for her like really poor promotion decisions.
Right.
To promo the movie.
Right.
So nobody knows what's like actually true. And the director, I think his name is Justin, he's just been like kind of on the DL. And anytime people like ask him about the movie, he's honest about what it's about, you know? And he's like, well, it's just, you know, domestic violence and it's a serious thing. And we need to stop saying, why don't women leave, and say, why are men hurting women? You know, he's had good responses to the questions. But apparently there's more drama because everybody who is part of the movie doesn't follow him on socials, which I don't really see why that matters, but whatever. And like apparently the cast has like rallied behind Blake Lively. So who knows? You know?
Okay.
But yeah, that's why people were hating on It Ends With Us.
It's got a solid 2.6, so.
What, It Ends With Us?
Yeah. Also, it's amazing how insanely 2000s YA this poster is.
I mean, supposedly the book is based on, what was the woman's name? I can't remember. Something Collins, I think. But yeah, supposedly the book that it's adapting, like apparently in the movie they changed the ending so that she leaves. And apparently in the book she stays, which I guess is realistic, but like, yikes.
Sadly, that kind of do be how it be.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah. Colleen Hoover, that's her name. But supposedly she's not a very good writer. I've not written her books, though. But I've heard bad things.
To be fair, though, I want the rom-coms to be back. Hitman was amazing.
Oh, Hitman's Bodyguard?
No, Hitman.
Oh.
The Glenn Powell rom-com movie where he's like pretending to be a hitman. It came out this year, I think, right? No, last year. It's on Netflix. It's him and
why did I not see like literally any ads for that? Because I didn't even know that was a thing.
They're so hot in that movie.
Glenn Powell
and Andrea Arjona.
Who? I feel like, oh my god, she was, what's her name in Morbius?
Is she?
Martine.
Well, anyway, she is so hot in that movie. Both of them are so hot in that movie. And
maybe I need to actually watch Glenn Powell in something and stop just seeing his face, because every time I see his face, he annoys
watch
me.
Hitman. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Easy. Watch Twisters whenever that's available somewhere.
Yeah.
Also very fun. Except Spielberg stole the kiss from us.
Wait,
dick.
so is Twisters just like Twister but more? If that makes sense.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
I mean, like it's a spiritual successor, and it's basically just New Age Twister,
I believe that.
and it's fun.
Also, I do have one question because this was what was pissing me off with these fucking trailers for Twisters.
Is it? They have twins. Twins.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was that every single trailer that they were playing had a fucking country song in the background. And I was like, is this just a whole country movie? Is the whole soundtrack going to be country? Because that will piss me off because I personally dislike country.
I know, but to be fair, fucking Tornado Valley is in the South.
Yes, I understand.
So most people are Southern.
But it was just very country, if that makes sense. Like
Any-
the first Twister movie is not like country in your face.
No, but any time they usually had country, like music playing through the radio, it was like a country song. And in the same vein, anytime there is like an actual song, it is usually some kind of country song.
I hate country music.
Okay, but that didn't stop you from watching Twister, did it?
Well, I watched Twister in school, and I don't remember the music choices. So
Okay, well, Twister is still fun. You should rewatch Twister.
I should.
I
I was actually thinking about rewatching it recently because
should. It's still fun.
I remember thinking that movie was very fun.
Yeah, I rewatched it before I went to go see Twisters.
Yeah, of course.
But Twisters is like a spiritual successor. Like, basically nothing about the first movie comes up.
Oh, okay. That's what I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah. It's like Dorothy shows up, like the device.
Right.
And quite possibly a picture in like a quick second of a scene might have Laura Dern and Bill Paxton in it. I'm not actually sure. I didn't like when she picked it up, it was like, this feels like it's important, but I couldn't really tell who was in the picture.
Laura Dern.
Isn't it Laura Dern?
I don't think so.
No, who is it?
The main
girl.
Yeah, it's definitely not Laura Dern.
Who the fuck is it?
I don't remember her name, but I know for a fact it's not Laura Dern. But I mean, she kind of looks like her, so I can't really blame you for thinking it is, especially in that time
Helen
period.
Hunt.
Helen, thank you. I was like, I know it's not Laura Dern.
Yeah, Helen Hunt. I don't know why. I feel like I kind of combined.
They
them
look
two
similar for
yeah.
sure, especially in the '90s when they both had like the PC bangs and the
Yeah.
blonde hair.
Yeah. I like both of them though.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should watch Hitman and Twisters. They're fun.
You know what it is? Laura Dern in like the Jurassic Park movies, her styling the exact same.
As
From
Helen Hunt
in Twister, the same styling.
You're right. It totally
Like
is.
down to like the hairstyle to like the clothes, everything's the same.
Yeah, it's just like
That's why they look so similar.
yeah. That's probably why, because it's just both of those movies are like etched into my childhood brain. But they're just like
It's that extremely quintessential like '90s styling.
yeah,
Yeah,
of just
yeah.
like the woman who like is no nonsense.
No nonsense. So you know she's wearing jeans and she's got like a flannel
Yeah,
and maybe a tank top.
yeah. Usually a tank top.
Yeah. Or she's got like the t-shirt tank top combo.
Yeah, you're right. That's totally is what it is. Yeah. But yeah, rom-com should be back, and also real blockbusters, which is why I'm really happy. Like, Glenn Powell has gone out of his way to be like, if I'm gonna be in a movie, I want it to be the movie that people go, oh, he's gonna be in that. It's gonna be fun.
Right.
Like, he's gone out of his way to be like, that's what I want my fame to be. Like, I want people that like, because he was like, I think he was like, movies are expensive nowadays.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
For
He's
no
like,
reason.
If people are gonna be spending their like money that they've earned like on their time off to go see a movie, and they're like, he's been in something I like, he's like, I want to make sure that I keep that trust. He's like, I want to be in things that people are gonna like, and I want it to be like fun movies that I watched growing up.
Right.
Which is why I'm like, fuck yeah, Glenn Powell, go be in more rom-coms and like old school blockbusters.
I need rom-com movies to come back, and I need mid-tier budget movies to come back.
Yeah, that one's
because
gonna be harder.
these
Hopefully that's swinging back.
I'm hoping that these studios realize after at least 5 years of these $100 million plus budgets that it's just not financially sustainable and like completely ridiculous. Like,
And yeah, here we are.
not every single movie needs to cost over $100 million to make.
Wouldn't that be ideal?
It would be fantastic.
And yet,
Here we are.
here we are,
Yeah.
not having that.
Boo.
Yeah, it'd be so great if mid-tier budget movies come out. Again, $300 million for one movie or $30 million for 10. or less for more movies.
30 million for 10? 10 $30 million movies. I understand.
I guess I phrased that stupidly.
Yeah,
But,
I was
like, that math is mathing.
The math was mathing, but like the way you said it, I was like, hello?
Well, 30 million for 10. That makes sense. 30 million for 10
I know,
movies.
but the way you phrased the beginning of the portion was opposite to how you phrased the latter half. So you flipped it.
Whatever. Math was mathing.
Yeah.
Or, less money for more movies. Just
Come on.
Again, though, the problem is the fact that they also don't get sales on the back end from DVDs anymore.
Yeah.
Which we've had this conversation like 4 times in the last
I know.
3 months.
I know.
Where it's just like, yeah, because they keep putting shit on streaming too soon.
Seriously.
Although apparently, real quick, did you know that new Transformers animated movie, Transformers 1?
Yeah.
Like the trailer that looks fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And like looks like.
Although I'm surprised it took them this long to do an animated Transformers movie.
Well, I mean, there was the one in the 90s.
It's 2024.
I'm just saying there was.
I'm saying with the number of live action movies we've had.
But like that fucking terrible looking trailer.
Right.
Apparently that movie's incredible.
Really?
Apparently everyone's like, this movie is fantastic and everyone needs to see it so they make more. And I'm like, really? Because that trailer seemed like the most dog shit substandard child movie shit on all time.
Do you think it's because they're marketing it to children? Like, because think about it. All animation in studios' eyes equals for kids.
Yeah.
No matter what it's actually about.
Right.
So
the only thing I've heard is that like the character progression for Optimus and Megatron is a little but like everything else around it is like fantastic.
Okay.
Which I'm so surprised by. So I think I might go see that sometime this week.
Okay. You'll have to let me know how it was.
Yeah, I mean to see that. I might go subject myself to watching fucking Speak No Evil. Not Hear No Evil, whatever the fuck the one is with James McAvoy.
Oh,
Hear No Evil.
yes.
What is it? What's the name?
I think it's Speak No Evil.
Yeah.
Which wasn't there like either I think like a French film?
Yeah, so it's a Denmark?
Or maybe.
It like literally came out like last year.
Yeah, there was a movie already made with this exact plot line, but like it's a foreign film, so US is like, oh, we'll just remake it.
Yeah, like literally like last year.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're gonna remake it, and you're like, fucking.
Why?
What already? Yeah, it's kind of fucked up, honestly. But
like James McAvoy, he can really act.
The problem is that trailer for that movie, I also fucking hated every time it came on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I just like, because the trailer came off cringy, but not in like a like off-putting, like that's the point. It just came off as like, like I hated every time it came on.
I think because I already knew like the original movie.
Well, I never saw the original movie, so I knew it existed, but I never saw it.
So since I already know the entire plot for the original movie, when I watched the trailer, I was like, you're just doing the same movie again?
Oh, well, yeah.
Like, the trailer did not give me cringe vibes, but I was a little, like, surprised when I first saw the trailer. I was like, wait.
It was kind of wild that they were doing that
Didn't they just make this a movie?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
Now I want to watch Train to Busan. It's just making me think of good foreign films. Anyway. Got any last minute thoughts?
No.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave a review, follow. Check out Cat the Moodstar on Twitch. You have 1 week to watch free the first 2 seasons, which is 24 episodes, and also 50% off.
Actually, it might be 23 episodes because I think season 2 is only 11 episodes.
Around 24 episodes. Sub 25. And also 50% off, which, I mean, you don't necessarily have to watch, but we are going to be talking about it at some point just because we think it's funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah, which we're doing before the episode, right? That's the plan? I guess I'll throw that out there. It's not long, right?
50% off? No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we could do it before. Anyway, So yeah, thanks for watching. And we will see you guys next week for Free/Anime Club. Is this your pick?
Cats.
Fuck, I'm next. All right, I need a movie. I need a show. All right, cool. See you guys next week.
Bye.